Hi, I'm Miss Natalie. I'm a kindergarten teacher with a mission to empower you to confidently navigate your child's education. Before I get started though, I need you to go down below and hit subscribe and turn on the notifications so you know when I'm putting out a new video. I am on a mission to get 50 subscribers. And when I get 50 subscribers, I will be doing a giveaway. So I need your help to subscribe and to share this with one friend that might be interested in helping their child learn more at home. So go ahead, pause the video, subscribe right now. I'll be right here when you're back. So today we are going to be tackling writing. Now, writing is probably my favorite subject to teach, but I also know it is the most intimidating, difficult, arduous, frustrating subject to teach, but also to learn. There are so many things that go into writing. It is absolutely the #1 subject that brings my students to tears. From learning how to write on a piece of paper, to pencil grip, to knowing what all those letters look like, people fussing at you about uppercase, lowercase, the punctuation, don't even get me started, all this stuff, and you haven't even thought of what you have to write about yet. It's ridiculous, everything that goes into writing, and it is something that really can get kids and families frustrated. So I want to talk you through the process today so you can understand what your child will be going through and also the progression that you can take so that you can help your child along the way. So hopefully you have subscribed by now. What I will show you in today's video is that writing progression, and I'll take you from early writing, starting with pictures, to what hopefully your child can do by the end of kindergarten and getting into first grade. So let's get started here with early writing. You might be surprised to know that drawing is a really important part of writing before they even know how to write their first letters. So you want to start by helping your child pick out a topic for their picture. You might even chat a little bit to plan it. After they draw their picture, they should be able to explain to somebody what they drew and be able to point to different objects in the picture. Even if you can't tell what they drew, the child should be able to confidently tell you what it is. As they tell you what it was about, you may want to grab a pen and write exactly what they said on the paper so that everybody can remember what this drawing was about, even when you all forget a week later. It's really common to see inconsistent coloring at this point. Your child might do the entire picture in just the color purple. Over time, we can teach them to differentiate with color and get a little more spice in there. My husband's favorite drawings are the little sun people that young children tend to do, where they just have a circle with arms and legs and a big happy face in the middle. I've got one right here at the bottom. This is how a lot of children learn to draw people, and again, over time, they will learn to draw something that looks a little more realistic. This connects to child development because children are extremely self-centered, as you might have figured out, and this is because they are so self-centered that they think their head is the only part of their body and don't think to draw the rest of them. Remember, art is a skill. It is not just a talent. You will be able to teach them over time how to draw different things. After they've gotten their drawing and explaining to adult down, they will learn how to label. They'll need some knowledge of the alphabet for this, but not all the letters. So what you'll want them to do is after they draw, add a label by drawing a little line and then the letter next to the object. So you can see on the picture here to the left, there is a B for boy and an S for scooter. The girl down here on the right drew H for house, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure what that letter S is for. Let's say flower? Yeah, it's not always perfect. You will also see that I've got some white rectangles throughout this, protecting student privacy because she did label her own name in this. You will start by teaching them to do the first letter of the word or the first sound that they hear. If you were doing the word pen, they would start by putting p, letter P. As they get better at this, you should encourage your child to do the first and the last sound. So if I stretched out the word pen, N. P is the first sound and n is the last sound letter N. So I would write a PN. As they get even better with that, we'll encourage them to start putting vowels in for the final spelling PEN. Your child will hopefully quickly move from writing just the first letter to writing the first and last, but they are going to need a push from you. A lot of students get into a comfort zone of just writing that first letter because at one point you were proud of it. Push them. They can do more letters than that. Once we know how to label, that means that they are ready to start writing. The first thing you might see up here in the corner is their label is the full word sun. They even got that vowel. Good job, buddy. When they get ready to start writing, you need to work with your child to think it, say it, and write it. So this child wanted to say, I saw my mom and dad. So he thought about this and then we said it together, and I like to count out how many words they're using. So I saw my mom and dad. All right, when I'm done, I should see 6 words and a period at the end. So I've thought it. We've said it, now it is time to write it. At this point, your child probably will need support with handwriting, so it's helpful to have a highlighter or a yellow marker nearby. They will probably need an adult or a sibling next to them to keep reminding them what they said, because writing this sentence is going to take way longer than you think. Keep pushing them, keep encouraging them. They can do it. I love to use sentence starters for this reason. I prompted the children to say, I saw my over the weekend, and he came up with mom and dad. So if you help them with that sentence starter, I had him trace down in highlighter here. You could also write it on a piece of paper and have them copy. As they write, you will see a mixture of letters and words. If they can only get that first letter and they can't figure out the rest, then let them do that and move on and see if they can get more of the next. Writing is all about picking your battles. Sometimes you're going to be able to just focus on the spelling, but have to completely leave punctuation and handwriting behind. Pick and choose your battles and keep reminding yourself as you go. All right, so once we've got through doing that first sentence, you are lucky because it just gets better from here. The first sentence is the hardest one to write, and after that, a lot of kids start to flow. It takes a lot of practice to get to this point. You should be trying to write a couple times a week, every day if you can swing it. Once they are getting writing and they don't need as much support with that sentence, you're gonna think it, you're gonna say it, you're gonna write it, and then they need to read it back to check if they got all their words in there, check for those finger spaces, and start thinking. So we're not quite at editing here. They'll need a lot of support when they read it back, but it is starting to get them to realize that the words they've put on paper say something. At this point, your child should be using punctuation, and they really enjoy learning about their options with a period, question mark, and exclamation point. So really let them be creative there with how they can end their sentences. Now the quality is going to fluctuate here. Like I said, you're going to have to pick your battles. If your child has worked endlessly on a beautiful sentence and it's got those finger spaces and their spelling is pretty good, but every letter K they did was backwards, let it go. They'll get it the next time. If they have the energy to fix them, great, but you know what? Sometimes the road to victory is long, and let them have the wins along the way because you want to build confidence. Writing is intimidating, and you need to be a coach, but you don't need to be a drill sergeant. And last but not least, once your child is able to write a couple of sentences, then you are on to details and editing. Now I have 2 writing samples here. I want you to take a look at how different the handwriting is on these. One child has really beautiful, clear, big handwriting that's super easy to read. The other one is kind of all over the place. But both these children are offering the same kind of sentences and writing to the table. Don't let your child's handwriting fool you, because that is a completely different skill than what we're working on here. We're working on writing a story, we're working on labeling, getting punctuation in, but handwriting is a completely different boat. So at this point, these children have moved farther away from sentence starters and planned these on their own. They did not need as much support, though I do always recommend talking it out before you start to write. They have multiple ideas in here, and they were able to stay organized on their main topic, which is what they did over the weekend. Thanks for watching my video today. I hope that by now you've subscribed. Remember, I'll be doing a giveaway when I get to 50 subscribers. Make sure that you comment below. Let me know what area your child is working in, and I'd be happy to give some tips or some writing prompts on how you can get them to the next level in writing. Thanks for watching. My name is Natalie, and this is Primary Focus.